Freelancing new avenue for students. Unemployment is one of the most serious social problems of Pakistan. Freelancing new avenue for students. Whenever a problem develops in any society, it always has more than one cause. The problem is that unemployment has more than one cause. Among these reasons, the main reason is population inflation and lack of sources of employment. While other reasons include bribery and recommendation, lack of seriousness of students, defects in educational standards, focusing on isolated acquisition of certificate instead of preparing students for the future at the university level, focusing on isolated book knowledge instead of practical knowledge, etc. There are significant reasons. As a result of the rising unemployment rate, students and graduates are generally worried about their future and ask various questions about their future. 1. Students should not read the text they read just for the sake of reading it or just to memorize it, but read it in the context of understanding the text and its practical application. With us, theory subjects are considered unnecessary or of lesser importance, and this misconception is found even among the teachers themselves. A theory is actually a summary of the practical experiences and research of others, which tells us what the subject is, how this knowledge was created, what is its aim and purpose, and how this knowledge can be put into practical use. So students should read and understand these articles in this context. 2. Students should learn some skills, along with teaching knowledge, and then start working on their own. In Pakistan, there are usually 2.5 to 3 months of vacations in summer in hot and plain areas and in winter in cold and hilly areas. Most students are usually finished during this time, so this time can be spent learning these skills. There are different ways to learn these skills. Generally, during these holidays, different universities and private institutions conduct different types of courses, so these skills can be learned through these sources. Another alternative is that different institutions also conduct different courses online, so one can learn from there even sitting at home. If a student doesn't have the financial means, these days there is plenty of material on the internet, YouTube, for almost all disciplines. One can learn from there as well. A practical tip for YouTube learners is to complete at least 2 different video series, sequential videos on a course covering all topics from start to finish, whenever they learn from YouTube. The next important question is what skills to learn. According to me, the ideal situation is that every student should learn the same skill, which is according to his education or degree. Also, I usually advise students to learn WordPress or graphic designing. 21st century is a digital era, their demand and usage is comparatively more than other things, and secondly, these 2 courses do not require any previous knowledge of computer. So learning them is easy for students. Apart from this, other skills such as content writing or blockchain etc. can also be learned. When students have completed a course and are confident that they have learned, start freelancing from any freelancing platform etc. Along with freelancing, one can also take projects from relatives or close acquaintances. The best way to start this work is to start with 2 or 3 friends working together on a project. Because no matter how strong the internal belief of a person is, a person learns and acquires mastery only through practical work. These tips are not only for those young people who are studying in universities but also those who are unemployed or doing casual jobs. Such persons may allocate some time for this on a daily basis after their working hours, but students may also allocate some time during normal days except during winter and summer vacations for this learning process. The practical benefit for the students will be that along with the education they will continue to learn the skills, and thus after completing the education they will have practical experience along with the certificate. This experience will not only help them in getting a job, but if they want to continue their own work, they can expand it easily and in a short time, and can also provide employment to other people. Note: www.thetechytube.com and its policy does not necessarily agree with the views of this blogger.